The entire procession is posted up uh, at the airlock, getting ready to make your way. Um, did you? Let's see. I'm already forgetting. Did you guys decide to send a message ahead, or you're just gonna go ahead
Yes.
and? Okay.
We sent a message saying that we need a meeting of the basically the local powers,
Okay.
and we're
Did
going to
you?
surprise Tom is one of those local powers.
Okay.
I think. I mean, I don't know.
All right. So Tom will be a surprise to surprise introduction.
But yes, we also did I distinctly remember that being a very poignant point between Saoirse and Tom, being like, "Yep, she did say he could go all natural next time." And I'm just picturing a Jim Carrey face, like, "Yes, I said that." Can't hear you if you're talking, Danielle.
Okay, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Good looking out. All right, so you all begin exiting the ship, and you're passing through basically a what looks like a kind of a pop-up security checkpoint at at the end of the little gantry, and uh, everyone is being basically signed in, and they are. I probably should have mentioned this before. Um, they are requesting no weapons be brought onto the station.
Oh,
Oh.
Can I get away with my staff?
uh, if you want to play up being old and needing it, we can give that a go. Give
Always
me
worth a shot.
a perform check.
I've committed to the bit so far.
Yeah.
Nero looks at Saoirse. I'm your bodyguard. Do I get an exemption? Or sorry, that's too big. I'm your bodyguard. Do I get to carry?
Saoirse's gonna look at the people asking for all the weapons. Well,
The guy running the check looks over at the person taking notes. They step aside and confer quietly for a moment. They give you kind of a one moment gesture. One of them steps away, pulls out his radio, and has a short conversation over it. Uh, he comes back and says, exceptions can be made for heads of state and you know, captains of ships can have one bodyguard each. That's the best I can do. Sorry.
She only needs one.
And he also continues. Gonna be limited to stun batons. Uh, simple, uh, simple melee arms and avoid carbines.
Did he say simple melee arms?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that includes Monoblade Sword, but Nero thinks that includes Monoblade Sword.
As she adjusts her complement of weapons, he gives her a look as she comes up, presents herself to go through the little scanner. He says, he kind of looks over at Saoirse, uh, having who's indicated herself as a captain of the ship, um, and I guess we're presuming has designated Nero as the one bodyguard she's taking. He says, "Let me spell it out for you a little more clearly," and he explains, "No monoblade swords, sorry. It's going to be basically small primitive weapons, which would basically be like belt knives, uh,
Alright.
daggers, and the like."
Nero
Um,
disarms her thermal knife and the Monoblade Sword. Does have 2 stun batons.
okay, and you guys would actually have a couple of void carbines in the armory if you wanted to bring one along for Nero. Caldwell is he's indicating himself as the bodyguard for the bishop and bringing one along.
Oh, I guess talk to him about that. Saying, are you planning to go as the bodyguard? I figured you'd have a seat at the table as much as anyone else.
Uh, he chuckles at that. They never said I couldn't pull double duty. Uh, assume they're allowing bodyguards in. Maybe not with weapons, but fine. I'll hand it off if I need to. He gives it a pat. Something about it just makes me feel more comfortable, though.
Yeah, I'll nod at that and say, understandable.
All right, let me see here.
I tried to find that like red velvet suit from forever ago for Nero. I could not find it. So apologies.
I might have saved. Well, I haven't been great at organizing the pictures that I saved.
um, as Brother Nick steps up, the the guy gives him a look, and he nods at one of the assistants there and says, "Apologies, sir. Let us hold that for you while you come on through."
Is he going through like a metal detector?
It's yeah, it's basically what everybody's been going through just to check for weapons and stuff. It's a little more fancy than sophisticated than that, but yeah, that's the gist of it. 'Cause you'll have to leave that behind. I'm sorry, it's a little too large to fit the definition of small.
But do you guys have a replacement cane for the old man? Or are you just mugging the elderly as they go through?
He raises
Brother
an
Nick will take an unsteady step and say, you wouldn't part an old man from his walking stick.
Saoirse's gonna look really cross at them.
this guy folds his arm, his arms and just fixes Saoirse and Brother Nick alternately with a deadpan stare.
Ah, with a look like that, I'm guessing you worked in retail. She's gonna.
He he allows a small smirk.
Yeah, so at that, Brother Nick will drop the act, stand up to his full height, and hand him the stick.
the the guy follows him with the small grin and gives him a nod.
Good job with a fair pair of eyes.
Thank you. uh, and everyone else is passing through, and then the uh, inspector catches wind of Tom.
Hmm. I would have wanted Tom to stay close to me.
Okay, well, we'll say he's coming through along with Saoirse. Um, he does a double take, looks pretty uncomfortable, and says, "No, hold it right there, ma'am.
I do believe he
That
prefers sir.
I was." He he glances at Tom, but then quickly back to Saoirse. Um, I was addressing you. Uh, this was not included in the report, and you seem to have failed to mention anything about a non-human. There's the obvious question in his voice. Passenger?
Tom here is our guest, and part of the very important information that we have for the heads of state who are going to be in this meeting, whom you are in the way of. If you
His
feel the need to accompany with us, that's fine.
his hand's still outstretched. He seems to have kind of forgotten about it, and he's reaching at his waist for his radio.
Saoirse,
And
seeing him reach at his waist, is going to take a step in between him and Tom. Not sure if it's like he's thinking of tasing Tom or something. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
She can't tell.
Got you. Yeah, no, he'll unclip the radio and still watching the two of them uh, kind of stumble over his words for a moment and then eventually collect himself with a deep breath.
Tell them that he's part of the envoy here to share important information about Tabuk and their actions.
Uh, yes, of course. I'll convey that. Just give me one moment. And as he turns away to to click on the radio, you hear him just mutter under his breath, "I do not get paid enough for this."
You ever feel like getting paid more? We got a nice ship. Offer a pretty good starting salary.
He just shoots back a glare, and then
She's going to be examining her fingernails. And if he glares at her, she'll just give him a wink.
all right. So he has another brief but heated discussion over the radio, and comes back, clipping it again at his waist. Yeah, come on through. Uh, you're, of course, responsible for him and whatever he does. Same rules apply for weapons. And yeah, and he'll just watch Tom and seeing basically eye contact from Tom, he'll give him a nod and say, "Welcome aboard our ship."
Saoirse will nod.
He'll give a very visible start and then say, uh, telepath too. And he's stumbling over words again. And the one of the assistants looks very embarrassed and darts a look quickly between the head inspector and Tom. Um, and produces just like a little oh I guess it's basically like a little bracelet, and just kind of holds it up and says, uh, "This is just a tracking bracelet. This is standard policy for psychics on the station. If you don't mind."
Saoirse's gonna look beyond, like, she's just gonna look furious.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. You want him to wear a tracking bracelet? You don't think there's going to be 20 people up his rear every second he's on this ship?
The assistant looks like really uncertainly over at the the head inspector. And he just gives a wide-eyed look back and shrugs. "Sure, that's fine." Don't. And he waves dismissively at the assistant. Uh, yeah. And he cuts off mid-sentence and nods along. "Okay,
Saoirse is just
yes, of course."
5'2" of fuming anger.
He's apparently responding to thoughts from Tom, and just seems extremely bewildered, and then just starts motioning. "Yeah, all right, come on, uh, everyone through. Shouldn't keep the ambassador waiting." And just kind of looks shell-shocked for the next minute or two as everyone else passes through the inspection point.
Oh.
Saoirse will attempt to telepathically. She still has connection with Tom, right?
Yeah, he's typically connected to her when they're in these sorts of situations.
She's going to let him know you need to stay close to me.
He responds, "Thank you, Saoirse. I wouldn't have guessed."
Was that sarcasm from Tom?
She would have turned and looked at him over her shoulder with an eyebrow raised. and thought very clearly, wouldn't have guessed what.
He just bares his teeth and gives a single emphatic clack. Uh,
She creates a mental image of herself having the same teeth and clacking back.
he just puts a hand on her shoulder and gives her just a gentle nudge forward and follows along.